What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Special thanks to Zach, who is joining me today. Don't have a fancy intro like Zach does, so we're just going to go ahead and dive in.
You have to at least introduce me to the people, even though these are all my people watching. Let them know who I am.
This is Zack Peter, at Just Plain Zach, at No Filter. Right? It's just No Filter?
No Filter with Zack Peter is my podcast.
Yes.
We do Salt Lake City recaps on Wednesdays.
And I do Southern Charm New Orleans recaps on Sundays. So if you haven't seen Southern Charm New Orleans yet, do yourself a favor.
Joshua!
Do yourself a favor and head on over to Peacock to start watching the first 4 episodes. I've already recapped episodes 1 and 2. I'll be recapping episodes 3 and 4 this coming Sunday, and so on and so forth from here on out. Trying to get that show back on our screens. You need one of your dog's CBD gummies.
Oh, why? I'm doing amazing.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
That I am.
All right, guys. So
I am tall, Remy.
No, he's actually he's a short.
We're
king.
the same size.
We're actually not.
We actually are, but Joshua likes
How
to.
How tall are you?
5'7".
I am 5'9".
You are not 5'9". You're like
I am
either
5'9"
I'm
and a half.
5'8" or you're 5'8".
No, I'm 5'9" and a half.
Okay.
Would you? Next time I go to the doctor, I will have them measure me, and you can come and see the proof is in the pudding.
Okay.
Are you done talking shit now?
No, but we have a show to do.
Okay, of course. Well, you only have to give him about maybe 2 more minutes, and some more shit will fly out of your mouth anyways.
That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm here for.
That is what you're good at, and God bless you for it.
Thank you. God blessed me very well.
All right, so hopefully you've watched the 10 years of the rumors and lies from Vanderpump Rules. If you haven't, and you're a heavy follower of the show, then I'm sure you already know all of the scandals and everything, so it won't be difficult for you to keep up. But we start from the very beginning, all narrated by Lisa Vanderpump herself. And what do you think, Zach, was the biggest thing to come out of the first 5 minutes of the episode of 10 years of rumors and lies?
Lisa Vanderpump has a great script writer.
See, not even 2 minutes, shit's already flying out of his mouth.
You asked me what my thought was. That was my thought.
Okay. Well, first off, it starts with mainly the whole scandal of Kristen and Jax sleeping together, which was vehemently denied for what, most of the first season.
Yeah, they denied sleeping together until it like finally came at the end of the second season.
God, yeah, that's right. It was this end of the second season. So little backstory, I had never watched Vanderpump Rules until Scandoval broke, and it was being so heavily covered, so heavily talked about, that I was like, all right, I'll just give it a shot. And I started from the season with Scandoval this past season. And
did you watch on Bravo prior to all of this?
I didn't really watch TV that much, to be honest with you.
Okay.
What? Why are you rolling your eyes?
Because you're just like one of those people that's like, I didn't watch TV. I'm too cool. I'm too important. What did you do?
I never said I'm too cool.
What did you do with your time? Because you were so busy not watching television.
I wrote a book.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
And was Josh living under a dang rock? Yeah, clearly he was.
All right. So to be fair,
watch TV, guys.
I watched a lot of Bravo prior to starting school, and once I started school years ago, I just didn't have time, and I could not afford cable. So
when did you finish school? You're like 85. Just trying to follow the timeline. Just trying to understand. I'm trying to keep up what you're putting
whatever.
down.
At least I look younger than you. So.
Oh, okay.
But no. So I had watched a lot of Bravo when before I started school, and then once I started, I didn't have the time, and I also didn't have the money because I was a broke college student. But, you know, obviously I've gotten more into watching TV over these past few years. But like with Vanderpump Rules, that started like when I was in college.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have time. And then by the time I did have time to watch TV, I was just like, there's way too much that's already happened, and I don't have time to get into that. So a lot of the TV I watch is more scripted, like Parks and Rec, The Office.
Porn.
We are on my channel. You can say that stuff on your channel. You cannot say that on mine. Oh my God. Oh God. All right. So can we go back to talking about this brief
Please.
30-minute episode that tried to cover 10 years of scandals in Vanderpump Rules?
Okay.
So yes, we have the bombshell that was the Kristen and Jack sleeping together thing that led to the slap heard around the world by my New Orleans girl, Stassi Schroeder, and one of the best.
You got to meet her recently.
I did. Thank you, Zach. Zach took
You're
me to
welcome.
Stassi's show. It was incredible. It was such a pleasure to meet her. And, you know, anytime a fellow Southerner meets somebody out of the South, it's always special, but especially if you meet someone from where you're from.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
I said thank you.
And I said you're welcome.
Okay.
I
Anyways.
wanted to remind you the value I bring to your life.
Oh my God. I need a gift receipt.
Continue on.
All right. So we get to the whole, we get through the whole Jax and Kristen sleeping together thing, and everything's kind of copacetic for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then enter Ariana. And we all know the issues that Kristen was having to begin with. And I think, you know, also important because she herself had cheated and was kind of picking up on those signs that things were a little amiss in their happy household.
Crazy Kristen was not so crazy. Crazy Kristen was actually very much on the money, and her and Jax, who were made out to be the biggest villains and the craziest ones on this show, ended up being the ones that were the most right.
Yeah, they called all that shit from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And it all played in their favor.
Well, speaking of, who is excited for Jax's return this upcoming season? I actually love Jax. I think that he brings a lot to the show. He's, you know, he's messy for sure. But
you've met Jax?
Yeah, we met Jax at the House of Villains premiere.
Yeah,
was that the premiere?
Who invited you to that?
Zach. Is there a way to pause this so I can beat the shit out of you and then jump back on real quick?
Wait, you also got to meet Kristen.
Yes, Kristen was actually at Zach's show. She was on his panel.
Stassi, Jax. Okay, just keeping mental.
Are you trying to like keep a roster going?
No, I'm just reminding you.
I don't have Alzheimer's. I remember all of this.
Okay, just checking. I tend to forget things very easily.
I actually don't forget anything. I have a memory like an elephant.
Okay.
I don't forget. I don't forgive. So
okay. I'll keep a mental note of that next time.
Yeah, you just remember that. So anyways, Kristen becomes laser focused on Tom and Ariana. And
on money.
Yes, and she starts going through his phone, sees like all these call logs between him and Ariana, and just like Jax and Kristen, Tom and Ariana vehemently deny any wrongdoing. And it was totally convincing. These people are good because I believe Kristen and Jax. I believe Tom and Ariana. I did not believe Tom by season. What was that, season 9 that I just had?
Season 10.
Season 10. Did not believe his ass. And I hadn't even watched the previous seasons, but I was like, no, this MFer is a liar.
He's always been a liar. I never believed him. I always thought something happened with him and Ariana.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then we have my girl Stassi, who pulls the truth out of Jax eventually. And then Sandoval tries to blame Jax for ruining his life. How about you don't cheat to begin with?
Yeah, when Sandoval started going after Jax and being like, my relationship is in shambles because of you. It's like, no, your relationship is in shambles because of you. You're the one that decided to cheat on your girlfriend. You're the one that decided to make these decisions. So you can't blame, don't shoot the messenger. You're the one that made these bad choices.
I mean, well, that's a narcissist for you, though. They can never
You think
take
Sandoval's a real narcissist?
Yes, absolutely. They can never take accountability for their actions. It's always someone else's fault. They will find a way to somehow twist things to make it seem like it's someone else's fault. And even the really good ones can convince other people that it is their fault. And I think that's what he was able to do with several women in his life. Most recently, Raquel. What did you call her?
Rocky Bang Bang.
Never heard that before.
That's because he doesn't listen to my show.
I don't. I don't have time. I'm in school.
School of Hard Knocks.
You were such a shithead. All right. So we get done with the whole Jax and Kristen, Tom and Ariana. Tom and Ariana get into a relationship, just, as everyone predicted. And then we get the intro of Katie and Schwartz, and what Lisa said in the show is that they were good until the spotlight was put on them.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, because then once the spotlight gets put on you, then what you do in the dark finally gets shed to the light.
Yeah, for sure. So then we have Sheena and Jax that start poking around, trying to figure out what's going on. And, things come to light about Schwartz maybe having kissed a girl in Vegas. A lot of bad shit happens in Vegas. And obviously, the saying does not hold true to this group. What happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas, because I feel like there have been at least 10 times that somebody said, "Oh, I did something bad in Vegas."
I mean, everybody does things that are bad in Vegas. Like, you go to Vegas, like, it's Sin City. You go to get drunk and not sleep. And these guys are good at drinking and not sleeping, and they're good at ratting each other out, especially Jax. Jax will always go and put it all out there.
I'd rather go sin in New Orleans than sin in Vegas. Vegas is too hot for me. And it smells like cigarette smoke.
It is. Everything smells like cigarette smoke and just like moldy carpets. Like, the hotels are terrible.
Yeah.
And gambling isn't that fun.
No, I hate gambling.
You just lose money. And like, I would rather spend that money on something I can bring home with me.
Well, I don't think that they are really going to gamble there. Sounds like they're going there to fuck around.
Yeah, they're just going to get drunk and party.
Ash, what do you think of something this season? She's a little odd. Do you think she's trying to take over Lisa?
I think she meant Sutton.
Oh, I don't comment on Beverly Hills. Sorry. I know that's
the one comment you pull up.
No, the one comment I pull up. No, Sutton is like a sister to me. I love her. Still hang out with her all the time. That would be a conflict of interest for me to discuss anything on Beverly Hills. So sorry. And of course, that's the one fucking comment I pulled up.
Yep. Walked right into that one.
I sure did. All right, so let's get back on track here. So with the whole Sheena and Jax like trying to get the whole Katie and Schwartz thing out there, it seemed a little bit like Sheena had a vendetta against Katie because Katie was not welcoming to Sheena in the beginning at all. And Katie and Stassi were really close friends. Yeah. They hated that Sheena was coming in to begin with.
Yeah, they were mean girls. They didn't like Sheena. They always kind of kept her on the outs. And now, Sheena finally had her opportunity to give it back to Katie. It's interesting because I'm assuming around this time is when Sheena and Schwartz ended up making out, which we know now gets revealed in this new season.
Yes. Oh my God. That was a curveball I did not expect coming when we.
I don't think it's that big. I think it's like a silly, dumb something. I don't think it's as big as they're making it out to be in the trailer.
I guess only time will tell. All right, so then we get through all of that bullshit, and then enter Lala Kent and James Kennedy, two of the most explosive little firecrackers I think to actually come on the show. I felt like when they came on, it just like little things just started popping off.
Yeah, we had Jax and Kristen, and then Lala and James kind of came in to really just elevate the show to a whole new level, and it was wild because they came in no holds barred. Lala was showing up her tits in front of all of the guys. James was coming out hard for the other guys. Like it was, I mean, but Lala was new. James had been in the dynamic for a while. He was working at Sir, and so he had been around everyone before. But they came in with a bang.
Yeah. But that was Lala and James, though, as far as the show goes, came on together.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of Lala, if you do not stop sending me naked pictures of women, I swear to God, I'm gonna block you.
I've shown him Denise's coochie and Lala's butt, and what else have I? Leah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a way to report that?
No. I don't know why you're so afraid of the female anatomy, Joshua.
I don't need to see it in a sexual, suggestive position. That's not entertaining for me. Artistically, yes.
You came out of a coochie, okay? You can't be afraid of them.
How do you know I wasn't born via C-section?
Okay, because you were born like 50 years ago before C-sections were even a thing.
I'm not 50. I've got like 11 years until that. So go fuck yourself. All right. So after we get introduced to the two little icons that are Lala and James, we then get introduced to one of my favorites that was ever on the show, Brittany. Brittany, you can rot in hell. But she starts dating Jax. She finds out that Jax is cheating. The girls take up for Brittany. The guys take up for Jax. And I feel like that in this little recap that they did, though, was only like a little blip.
It was, and they totally left Faith out of that. Like we forgot, like
oh
Faith
my God,
was like the big catalyst in that scandal.
Yes, yeah.
Like she literally like recorded herself banging Jax, and then James got a hold of it and like circulated. Like it was wild.
Yeah, I know that. So in this like 10 years of rumors and lies, that was like a huge one that I felt like they just didn't really
glossed over.
Yeah, they glossed over it. It was maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, and they didn't really dive into like the fact that like Jax had cheated on Brittany right before their wedding. They're just like, and other scandals came and tore apart Tom and Ariana, but nothing was compared to Rochella.
Yeah.
That's the next one, right? After
Jax that is the next one. Well, I mean, we get a little brief glimpse into Lala's story when she goes off on her modeling trip and gets caught lying red-handed. And we find out that she's got this man that provides for her. And not long after, when she's in her brunette phase, which I didn't care for, we find out that it's Randall. Another one that they mention Randall and never anything else about him.
Yeah, we don't get much more other than he was buying her Range Rovers, and yeah, we didn't get into like the Randall scandal of like him cheating on her. Like that was a big
you want to talk about scandals? That was like one of the biggest ones.
That was recent too.
Yeah. Again, I mean, they were trying to shove 10 years into 30 minutes, which I think is impossible given the amount of scandals that took place on this show.
Yeah, they completely disregarded Randall altogether.
I think that they were just kind of trying to fast forward real quick so they could get to the Scandoval thing. But the Scandoval thing was so recent, we didn't need that much of a refresher.
And they didn't even talk much about it. Like everything was just like so glossed over.
Yeah. But again, 10 years and 30 minutes, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So then we get the intro to Rocky Bang Bang.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds out James is cheating. Then she gets engaged to James. They're together for how long were they together for?
A few years, but they were only engaged for less than a year.
Yeah. Anyways, they talk about that for a minute, and then we reach Scandoval. Kristen tried to warn Ariana years earlier that Sandoval was going to do the same thing to her, which he ultimately ended up doing. So, you had mentioned earlier, do the prior scandals make us reflect differently on Scandoval?
I mean, when you actually look at all of it and you look at like how much Tom and Ariana were lying back then, it does kind of show us that like, I mean, I know there's that whole thing of like how you get them is how you lose them.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but I just feel like this would like you would have expected there to be some sort of growth and evolution between Tom and Ariana. And
Right.
like there was just so many like they were young, dumb kids before, and now like the stakes are so much higher and they were
Yep.
together for so much longer. Like you just didn't expect it to go this way.
Well, I think that, you know, like the other saying goes, a tiger's not going to change its stripes. But you would have expected, because he was younger, then maybe he was going to grow out of that and not be a total piece of shit. But I think that this man is and is going to be for the rest of his life. He's just going to hop from person to person with his narcissistic ass and have no regard for other people's feelings and how his actions can so severely impact those around him.
Yeah. Leviss. Well, it definitely gave us one hell of a scandal that everybody was talking about. But I think what makes
It made me start watching the show.
What makes Scandoval so much different than the other cheating scandals or bombshells is that like Tom and Ariana, we saw their relationship from beginning to end, and they were together for 9 years, and like we were invested in their relationship all throughout, the entirety of it.
Yeah. Is it safe to say that I'm starting to get over Ariana? No, it's not safe to say that. It's been a year and she avoids dealing with stuff, leaving the relationship, sorting the finance, splitting the house.
I mean, I think it takes two to tango in splitting the house and splitting the finances. I don't think she's actively not trying to do that.
Yeah.
But I do see people getting fatigued by her. But it's like, what else is she to do? Like, of course, she's going to take all the opportunities that are coming her way, as she should.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not over Ariana. And I also think that we're going to probably see a lot of this play out in this next season that we have coming up.
I think people may start to turn on her more, though.
Oh, shit. That final line of the trailer when Lala says, I don't understand how someone gets broken up with and suddenly becomes God.
Cheated on.
Oh, yeah, cheated on. Sorry.
And suddenly becomes God.
I mean, that's a heavy statement to make.
Well, I think it's in relation because obviously that scene was from the finale. And from what I know of the finale, the producers and I think even Sheena tried to get Ariana and Tom to have a conversation at the finale party, and Ariana wanted nothing to do with it, and she got upset and kind of stormed out and left. So I think Lala was just kind of over the entitlement that she feels like that Ariana's giving, and the fact that she is judging Sheena for trying to stay in the middle, which I get. Sheena's in a tough place. Like she's had a really long relationship with Sandoval that it's like, do you just dump your friend of over 10 years because of something that they do to one of your other, like it's complicated, right? It's not as black and white as I think people would like to think that it is.
Right. Britt says, I've been committed for 8 years. I would be a nightmare of a person if that happened to me.
Yeah.
Same.
And that's natural.
Yeah. I cannot believe she was able to even form words when in that last season's finale episode.
Yeah.
Because I would be a total basket case.
I mean, you devote basket case in general.
But to devote that many years of your life to build a life with a person and to be just betrayed in such a public way. Yeah. I mean, that was fucking heartbreaking. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Aside from Scandoval, what do y'all think is the biggest scandal in Vanderpump history? I'll let you.
Aside from Scandoval?
Yes, obviously aside from Scandoval, because that is the biggest one.
I mean, I don't know. Jax and Faith is pretty big because it was right before his wedding. She filmed it. She was doing it with the grandma that she was babysitting. That to me was so wild. But then, like, how do you not, like, the whole Kristen and Jax? Well, the Kristen and Jax is the OG, and I think I have to give it to Kristen and Jax, even though Jax and Faith was pretty jarring.
Yeah, mine 100% was the whole Kristen and Jack thing and the slap heard around the world. But that's for sure my aside from Scandoval.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Pick another sign question.
Let's see. Ariana defended Rachel and was there for her, so she got it
Yeah.
from both sides. Yeah. That was another thing that was just really heartbreaking. And the fact that she was able to just sit there and boldface lie.
And ask her, like, it's one thing to ignore her and like not engage with her on camera, but she was asking her about her sex life with Tom on camera. And just being like, well, don't you think sex is an important part of a healthy relationship? Like, it was so diabolical.
Yeah, 100%. Sandoval also cheated on Ariana while her dog and grandma died. Right? I mean, what the fuck? You can't keep the worm in your pants for a week, maybe? You have to just like add that much
in
insult
her
to
house.
Bitch.
In her house. It's wild to me. It's insane. Everything that he did and everything that they tried to hide and like conceal was like when you think about it, like everybody outlining everything again, like just reminds me of how truly, like, I get why Ariana's pissed and I would be pissed too. Like, and she still has to deal with this. I get it. He's like apologetic and he wants to move forward. But at the same time, like it hasn't even been a year. And I think that like she's valid in her feelings right now. As annoying as it may be for the public because she's everywhere and everybody's like praising her. I get what Lala's saying about now she's suddenly become God. I get that. But at the same time, it's just like,
Weren't they also kind of also his dog and didn't he care about the ground? Well, yeah, but
that was weird that he didn't go with her to the funeral to support her, to be with her.
Yeah. I mean, come the fuck on. To have so much disrespect, not only for Ariana, but also for a grandma who he apparently liked. I mean, it was just he needs to rot in hell.
Rot in hell. I feel like Brittany has your southern twang. I feel like if you were ever to get mad and say rot in hell, like that's exactly how it would come out of your mouth.
I don't know. Make me mad enough and I'm sure you'll hear it.
That I can do. That I'm good at.
Anyways, is there anybody that actually let me back up. Are y'all excited for Jax's return?
Yes.
I cannot wait. Is there anyone else that y'all would want to see come back?
Stassi,
100%. Wow, we've never agreed twice in a row before.
Well, I mean, these are just my opinions that you're finally having a come to Jesus moment about.
I'm going to come to Jesus moment about that. That's how I felt before we even had this discussion like months ago.
Of course you're going to pick the two people that I introduced you to.
You introduced me to Kristen too.
You don't think Kristen should come back?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But like if I'm excited about Jax coming back and if I could pick one person to come back, it would be Stassi.
Yeah. Stassi for sure.
New Orleans.
Well, and she was just a great reality star and she was great on the show. And I would love to see her, hold Sandoval accountable and react to all of this stuff like on camera. Stassi coming back would absolutely be epic.
Yeah, 100%. I can't believe that she hasn't come back at some point. Did she ever say why she hasn't? Or
they fired her and fired her so brutally that why would she come back? I get her point.
Oh, right, because it was from the whole faith thing, right?
From the faith thing, yeah. That I think, she was so burned in all of that I agree.
Did you not see Jackson's the left and the now ended up going backwards because he gets triggered and blows up? Yeah,
right.
It's good TV.
That's why we need Jack. I mean, it would be terrible for his marriage, but he's great television.
Yeah, we do need more of the OGs back.
That's what we
For
fell
sure.
in love with was the OGs.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any newbies that we really like. After James and Lala, none of the newbies really stuck, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Because
mean,
they're all
I
pretty
love.
OG. They're all veterans.
Yeah, I mean, I love Brittany. I would have loved to see more
Oh,
of
Brittany,
Brittany.
yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much the whole 30-minute recap that we watched.
Are you ready for the new season?
God,
Was the
yes.
trailer riveting enough for you? We see Katie and Schwartz making out with the same girl.
Right. What the hell was up with that?
Never trust a chick with pink hair. Don't. Just don't. Crazy.
All right. No, where did you get that from?
From seeing her, I was like, there's never been a chick that's had pink hair that's been trustworthy. And you're like, oh, yeah, she's a real good girl.
Okay. Probably an unpopular opinion, but after this season, we need new people. VPR Valley Village, fine. We'll watch y'all renovate your houses. Legit VPR in WeHo. Where are those broke 21-year-olds? Okay.
But do we care about that now? We cared about it when it was new and it was fresh then, but like, would we care to invest in a bunch of new broke kids? And what made this cast work wasn't just that they were a bunch of broke kids that worked at a restaurant, but they all had genuine history and relationships and friendships with each other. It's interesting. I was listening to the Alex Baskin podcast with Sheena and one of the Vanderpump producers, and they were talking about how they don't know if Vanderpump Rules is a show about the restaurant or if Vanderpump Rules is a show about a group of friends. And eventually they just realized the show is about the friend group rather than the restaurant.
Right. For sure.
See, Texas Phoenix knows you can't trust a girl with pink hair.
I'll keep that in mind. Rummy says, that's my only concern. Stassi and Jax going back into Toxicville, having matured and become parents. Amazing TV, but not great for their growth. That's true. It's a very selfish thing for us to want them back, but God, they're so good.
Yeah, I want them back. Give me the chaos. Give me what they bring. Or they would come back and not get into the mix and totally flop, which is possible as well.
End-Up says, we don't care about the Southern Charm version. I tried to watch Southern Hospitality. I watched a couple episodes, and I couldn't get into it because I felt like they were trying to be Vanderpump Rules, but not being Vanderpump Rules. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Southern Hospitality. You can't recreate that. That's so now we have Vanderpump Villa. I don't think anybody's going to watch a Vanderpump Villa. Nobody watched Vanderpump Dogs.
Right.
So I don't get why anybody would want to watch Vanderpump Villa. It's just not that interesting.
Yeah.
It will never be Vanderpump again because now the model's already been set. So now, remember Lindsay Lohan had one too. Lohan's Beach Club.
Oh, right. Wasn't that like in Greece or something like that?
It was in Dubai.
Never saw an episode.
Maybe it was Greece. I thought it was Dubai.
It was Greece.
I don't know, but she did have one based off of, she had one based off of her beach club, and it was like, and she even said that it was modeled after Vanderpump Rules, but it doesn't work. We've already seen it, so too many people want to come in and try to recreate that, and you can't recreate that magic.
Britt says Southern Charm is getting geriatric too. Spinoff time. I don't care. We'll watch recast all of them. Spin off the old folks. Oh my God. Listen, my main focus right now is trying to get Southern Charm New Orleans back. I don't know what it's going to take, but I am bound and determined.
You have to give people your actual thoughts of it because you haven't been too happy with it thus far.
Well, I'm saving that for my Sunday show. Oh, okay. Actually, no. The first two episodes I felt like didn't really give enough Louisiana. The next two episodes definitely do. The Texas Phoenix says it was Greece. Lindsay Lohan's club.
Yeah, she lives in Dubai though. Now I don't know where she lives.
Does she?
Now. She did live in Dubai for a while. I don't know where she lives now though. Because now she's married and she has a baby.
I was thinking that today. I was like, and I don't ask me where this came from, but I was like, does Lindsay Lohan have a baby?
She has a baby.
When did she have a baby?
Like this year, like a few months ago.
Are you having fun doing these gestures? Yes, I am. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, who introduced you to them?
If you don't stop gloating, my God.
You're welcome, everybody.
Never say never, Marianne. And Britt says, "Oh hell yes, Southern Charm Nola, Josh.
If not another Southern Charm, then definitely some sort of Nola show.
If not Southern Charm, I at least want Real Housewives of New Orleans because that would be a great show.
Yeah,
Southern women are crazy.
so I've heard. So we're Southern men.
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
I can confirm it already.
What about Vanderpump Paris?
What
Well,
about
that's
it?
what you were talking about, though, right?
Vanderpump Villa?
Vanderpump Villa. That's what they're trying to do. He said that he's not excited for it. I haven't really paid much attention
I just think it's
to
going to
it.
be another like Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
Like nobody cared about Vanderpump Dogs, which was the same concept based off of her dog shelter, and it was the staff that worked there. Nobody cared. Oh, it was Mykonos. Yes, that's where Lindsay did her club was in Mykonos, and then it closed down.
Yeah. Indub asks, are you getting more comfortable with the solos? When is the next Southern Charm New Orleans?
Every Sunday, Ndub.
Every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes, I'm getting. Well, actually,
To be fair, you were always very dicey about when you were going to go live, and you would tell people you're going to go live. So that's a very fair question. Validating the audience.
anyways, yes, it's every Sunday 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yeah, actually, this past Sunday was my first actual solo one. I had no one else to play off of. It was just me and y'all, and it was a lot of fun. What happened to that? Is it alive or the people young? So if you're talking about Southern Charm New Orleans, Southern Charm New Orleans ran for seasons in 2018 and 2019. And it didn't do great in the ratings as the show continued on. I think they would definitely have to bring in new cast members, a new production company, in my opinion, because I feel like the production didn't totally grasp the spirit of New Orleans. But for sure, it ran for 2 seasons and then we had COVID. And I think that just because it didn't do as well in the ratings, that they decided to give it the boot. But it deserves a reboot. I don't trust that. Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
I'm blinking for Rummy.
Yeah, the pandemic fucked a lot of shit up. Pandemic still fucking shit.
That it did. Vanderpump Paris or Europe, Greece, Pompeii. Whatever. I'm confused, Britt. I can wink.
What are you doing?
Ndub said I can't wink. I can totally wink. Why can't I wink? Do you think they will reboot any of the Housewives shows like Dallas? No.
I don't think Dallas is going to get a revival.
They're going to take a beat right now.
Yeah.
As they find out and like try to restructure everything.
Rummy says she's not used to seeing you so still.
Well, because Josh has had so much to say that I haven't had an opportunity. He hasn't even asked me a question. I've just been sitting here patiently.
What the fuck are you talking about? He's so full of shit. I have asked you questions.
Okay, ask me another one.
Why are you such a bitch?
Born this way. Born bitch. I'm actually good today. I was a real bitch on Friday.
Yeah, I can confirm. He was a total asshole.
But I'm better today.
Yeah. Real Housewives of New Orleans.
Are there enough interesting women in No Life? They said they've tried to do it and they just haven't found a good enough cast.
See, here's the thing. There are plenty of interesting people there. It's finding the ones that wouldn't be bothered by having their secrets exposed, because Southerners, especially ones in Louisiana, are very secretive.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot lot to uncover with the people in New Orleans.
Yep.
We try to
Lots of
keep
rich story.
lots of rich story. Just like to keep things, kind of
I know.
to ourselves.
I know. I learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah. We're a little crazy like that. And that's okay. But we're just not always so comfortable with putting all of our stuff out there.
And I'm the opposite. I'm like, here's all my business.
No, we just sit there and judge people like you.
Listen, I'm used to it. Why is everybody laughing?
I don't know. What are y'all laughing at?
I can wink both of my eyes. Oh, she said I'm cute.
Thank you. Is that number one Kerr Madison? Thank you. In any event, even if I don't know how to say your handle.
777. Thank you for saying that I'm cute.
Well, I was extending a thank you for saying that both of us are cute. But if Zach wants to be a little see you next Tuesday, then I will say only thank you for saying that I'm cute.
I mean, thank you for saying that we're both cute, but
Shut up.
Okay, fine, Josh. You're cute too. Does that make you feel better?
Not when you say it with that tone.
Josh, you're so cute. Better?
No, because then that's just fucking you're being sarcastic.
Okay, guys. Josh is a cutie patootie, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
No, he doesn't. Lisa will do everything in her power to keep Vanderpump Rules for as long as possible. Her businesses need the show publicity. The show goes, her bars go under.
I think that that's true.
Ooh, the shade in here.
Because a lot of the people that go to her shows aren't West Hollywood regulars. They're like tourists and fans that want to go and check it out.
Yeah. N-Dub wants a show in Vegas so she can be a friend of. All right, N-Dub. You'd make good TV.
They should have a Vegas show. I feel like there are a lot of legalities with filming in Vegas, though.
Britt wants a Real Housewives of Alaska. What do they have in Alaska?
Alaska.
If you can.
What do you want? Some Sarah Palin shit?
Oh God, could you imagine?
They're just gonna be like hunting bears and
she can see Russia from her backyard.
Fishing. That's dumb.
Imagine the mob tie stories if they had a show in Vegas.
Yeah. Ooh, Dare with the shade.
It didn't make it for a reason, and that had a lot to do with production. I promise you that.
Yeah, Josh said it was production that failed.
Southern people have too many skeletons in all them closets. It's true. We all have a lot of skeletons. Why do you do it like that? You just can't wink like a normal person? I can't really.
Too, but you have to add a little more personality. That's also my sticker, my emoji sticker.
You're sticking your tongue out in your sticker, aren't you?
Which I don't really stick my tongue out unless I'm not.
Oh my God.
What?
Did Mob Wives get canceled?
Oh, too soon, Mallory. Too soon. I love and Big Ange. Oh my God, Big Ange.
I want my presents. How many more seasons of Vanderpump do you think they will have?
I mean, not very many. I think. Listen, this season's gonna do fine, but it's not gonna be a knockout. And eventually, it was coming to its end to begin with. And listen, they all know that like these shows have a shelf life on them. And you want them to end on a high note and not like look what happened to New York. Look what happened to Atlanta. Like when you run these shows for too long, like they just start to circle the drain.
Josh, do you have a skincare routine?
No, he doesn't. He
Dove soap.
Bar soap, yeah. Kimberly,
thank you, Kimberly.
Gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
Thank you. I know.
You're welcome. Ugh, see, doesn't that sound weird?
No, because I know I'm gorgeous. So anytime anybody says it, I already know. So it's like looking into a mirror. Receiving a compliment.
Oh my god.
Why do I have to close my mouth?
Who told you to close your mouth? Oh, Rami. There has to be rich people in Alaska. There's no way they all live off the grid and hunt to survive.
That's what they do.
Britt, how about you do a little research for us? If you can find us some like really like rich money honey in Alaska, I'd entertain the idea.
I don't think Alaska's that interesting. You need a city to have culture for us to be interested in. I don't want to watch people ice fish. You stop playing with your eye.
I'm sorry, my eye's itching. God. I heard somewhere that New Orleans was
That's
big.
how people get infections in their eyes, Joshua. That's how people get styes, is by constantly touching their eyes. The doctor that did my LASIK told me that.
Your LASIK didn't work.
It does work. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
That's not true. I heard somewhere that New Orleans was big in film and production. Is that true? It is, but the people that produced Southern Charm New Orleans were LA based. So give me a good like Louisiana based production company and we've got something to work with. How long do you think James and Allie will last? Oh, sweet Allie.
She's so sweet.
I I hope for her sake that James stays on the up and up. I don't know if that's going to happen, but
I think she's better off than Raquel was. I feel like James was a mess when he was with Raquel, but like,
yeah. But I also, as sweet as Allie is, I really get the sense from Allie that she doesn't put up with shit.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if James steps too far out of line, she'll be like, bye, and she'll be like done.
And he seems to be very different now.
Yeah.
So I think they actually have a solid chance. Will they go the distance all the way? I don't know, but I think they have a solid chance.
Yeah, that's right. I also heard that the film industry in Louisiana, like they stopped giving the tax incentives that initially drew people there, which really fucked us over in Louisiana. And then production stopped going there.
I want to know. That makes sense, though.
Big Ange was the best. God rest her soul.
She was great. Oof, Big Ange was the best.
New Orleans was like they called New Orleans Hollywood South.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Well, now you know.
Fun fact. Oh, wow.
What? I think she's talking about Big Ange.
Oh.
You got to read it in Big Ange's voice.
Okay, reading Big Ange's voice.
I'm dating this guy. He got me a puppy. He just got out for murder.
A good Staten Island
I
accent.
do a Staten Island accent. I don't know why. Well, because in New Orleans, especially where my brother-in-law's from Chalmette. And they have this, it sounds like a weird cross between like a Staten Island accent and a Southern accent. So like when we say New Orleans, it doesn't sound like we don't say New Orleans. We don't say Nowlands. We say New Orleans.
New Orleans.
There you go. See, you hear how it sounds a little like Staten Island, Jersey-ish kind
Yeah.
of? Yeah.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I honestly thought the cages over the graves in New Orleans was in case of vampires. That is a very interesting way to think about it. No, it is so that anyone who's buried underground, when we have floods, their casket won't rise up out of the ground. So the more you know.
Zombies.
Da-da-da-da.
Imagine just the caskets of dead people just like roaming the streets of New Orleans.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when those people don't reanimate, Zach.
I get it.
But caskets and dead bodies, you know, that's also why like we have the cities of the dead where it's all mausoleums, because New Orleans is like a soup bowl. It's all under sea level. So you get a hard enough rain or bad enough hurricane, that city's just gonna fill up. I mean, we saw it with Hurricane Katrina. Oh, Brittany wants Real Housewives of Alaska so bad.
No, we do not. We're not ever getting a Real Housewives of Alaska. You heard it here first.
San Francisco would be with so much old and new money. I'm not throwing shade. I just don't know that I would watch San Francisco.
I wouldn't watch I don't like San Francisco.
I've never been, but I've heard it's dirty. And I'm so sorry if anybody in here is from San Francisco.
I'm not. I hate it. People say they hate LA all the time. I get it.
Yeah, like me. Sorry, I'm reading through all y'all's comments right now. It's hard to keep up. Oh, N-Dub loves the originals, the spinoff from Vampire Diaries that takes place in
Oh yeah, she was telling me
New
about
Orleans. Yep. True story. There was a mob guy who had a pet monkey. The owner loved to let him drink beer. This is how the drunken monkey was
that.
named.
Oh,
Wait, what's the drunken monkey?
Big Ange's Bar.
Oh, I didn't watch a whole lot of Mob Wives. I watched a couple of Fringe episodes, but I obviously know Big Ange. Everybody knows Big Ange.
Wow. Wow, Bethany. Wow. The audacity. No, sorry. All right.
All right. I think we are at just about an hour. I think that's pretty good for a 30-minute show that we saw.
Yeah.
It was great talking to y'all. I'll try to get my own little trailer, fancy trailer like Zach does.
You need content first.
We're going to have a conversation when we're done with this. But thank y'all so much. Please like and subscribe to this video, my channel. I know you all from Zach, so you already follow him. If I perchance have 1 to 2 people in here that are only here for me, go follow Zach on his YouTube, which is
Zack Peter.
It's just Zack Peter.
Yeah, the filter with Zach.
Thank you. I actually did that thumbnail today. We looked profesh, didn't we?
He did a great job with that. I taught him well.
Yep. All right.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night. We're back for our Salt Lake City recap on Zach's channel to spill the tea on that, because I heard that this episode was really good, which is great considering the last 2 weren't.
Yeah, they're a little mediocre.
Yeah, they were mediocre. But I mean, you have to expect that in shows. I mean, they're not all gonna be knocked out of the park. So.
But I'm excited. We're in Bermuda. We have rumors that are coming up, the DMs that are finally being revealed. I'm ready for it.
Love the gator in the corner. Thank you very much. Zach actually
Where did you get that from?
Do you have to boast so much? I was about to say thank you so much
Sorry,
for that.
I take that back. Go ahead, finish your sentence.
Zach actually connects me with his designer who designed my logo for me. So thank you very much for that, Zach. I really appreciate it. You know what? I tried. I just pulled a picture of him off his Instagram, and I went in the archives and found a picture of me that was professionally done. All right. Good night, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. To take place of our Salt Lake City recaps, we will be recapping Vanderpump when it comes back in January. So
January 30th. Get ready, Freddie.
All right. And with that and that, we're out. Love you guys. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.